is a standout X-Factor player. Trevor kind of has to work with his team, and we saw that in Game 2. They won when they drafted a dive style with the Olaf, Akali, as well as the Galio Rakan, right? So these are the questions that I'll be thinking about when I look at Team Secret in this Game 3, the draft coming up underway. Ziggs again banned out by MVP, no surprise there.
Yeah, I mean, Ziggs, you just want to get rid of that. It's a very powerful tool to be able to break open the map. Team Secret gets rid of the Camille, and I think that Camille has been a very standard response from Team Secret. Don't really want to give that up too early. And of course, the Darius ban to try and target out Azar because he's been very proficient on the Darius, but has kind of fallen off when he's played some of these other Baron laners.
Okay, so this draft, 100% same as Game 2. Opening with the Gragas after these exact similar bans. Team Secret here, if they want to do the same thing, it has to be the Xayah Galio, right? I think nothing was wrong in the draft earlier. Xayah Galio definitely works, but instead they opt for the Akali because they understand the value of the Akali when it comes to diving your opponent. Like I said, against something like a Xayah, against the Kai'Sa, the Akali has a lot of kill potential. So again, you have this potential of flexing the Akali mid or Baron lane. You have the potential of flexing the Galio support on mid lane. Team Secret, they want to keep the options open.
So MVP actually respond in turn by going for the Xayah pickup, taking that away from Team Secret. They say, if you don't want to go for that first rotation, then we are. You can look at Papa on the Xayah. You see him run at 7.33 KDA. You can see how impactful that's been. And Team Secret with the Yasuo lock in the mid lane.
If they pick up... Okay, so the Yasuo here is sort of a pseudo answer towards the Xayah. You put up the wind wall and disallow her from putting feathers down. It stops a lot of the utility that the pick has. They need to finish up their draft with something like a Wukong or a Malphite here. Considering that it's going to be solo lane Akali and Yasuo, you expect it to be Wukong jungle. That's the only viable choice that they have to set up the last breath here. Team Secret's composition is a lot harder to execute this time because the finesse comes from Trevor setting up the Cyclone onto priority targets and then following up with the last breath on Tatsuri. They don't have this simple like Azar Trevor dive composition anymore. It has to be the setup here coming from Trevor alone.
So let's see what Team Secret have in store for us as they pull out the Yasuo pocket pick coming into game number 3. Both teams tied at 1-1 at this point. Yeah, so we're just gonna bring Azar back into this Gragas Akali matchup. We saw how it panned out last time around. Very similar composition from MVP, but a very different one out from Team Secret.
I think Pegor's Lee Sin has a lot of value in this game, especially against the Yasuo and the Corki. Like, there's no evasion on either of them, right? Yes, you can Valkyrie away, but once you get kicked in your team, kicked into the enemy and they stun lock you, there's nothing much you can do about it. So we're looking at the Lee Sin here to be making a lot of the plays for MVP.
Lee Sin is going to be that primary engage. You don't really want to force Gragas in that position. I mean, Gragas is going for that tankier build, but the problem with that is once you use him in that form, he loses a lot of his disengage potential, and so your team is kind of stuck in this one directional. You can only go one way, and that's it.
It's going to be Lee Sin and Rakan, right? This kind of duo comes in. Oh, look at this. They're looking to kill Atsi here, but there's no Ignite on either. Yeah. There's just actually no kill potential at all because they don't have Ignite on Tatsuri.
Yeah, so both junglers just going to hover towards the mid side, give some control back to their laners. They don't want to walk away and then run the risk of them just getting collapsed on the next second. Okay, I'm liking how things have been kind of panning out for Team Secret. They've been going for the aggressive option for the most part. MVP respond now by trying to pick up this Scuttle Crab, force away Secret from this spot. Hamez over by the side, gets locked down onto Orianna. Orianna might just go down. Ignite finally coming through. Valkyrie over from the side from the Corki, gets the kill. They get first blood. It's going to be Rakan going down. They trade back. Rakan goes down as well. Papa over on the other end. Tatsuri comes in the last auto attack. Trying to jump back in. Pego almost finds the kill. Flashes forward. Finally gets the last auto attack to get to pick that one up. And Chewie cannot find the damage to get this return kill back up to the Lee Sin. Instead, they back away, especially with the Dragon's Rage coming up on the Lee Sin is too risky to go for.
James with the MVP taunt there to set it up for his team. In no situation, apart from that, do Team Secret actually win that trade because MVP has Xayah Rakan, one of the best early Dragon Lane prio duos, as well as early CC combos there is. You hit a grand entrance, you put 3 feathers down behind them, you root them in place, right? That's how this duo works. But because James is the one to open up and he sets it up for his team, Team Secret are able to just punish and collapse, and now they have this very nice goal lead in the pocket of both Tatsuri and Chewie.
So gonna make good use of that. Already being able to pick up a couple of nice items for the Yasuo. Yasuo, of course, scales up very well with the additional gold, getting the additional crit stats. Whereas you take a look at Chewie, Chewie wants to scale up faster, avoid these moments where he's weak because he has to go for the kill of the goddess. Meanwhile, the first dragon that spawns up is going to be that Mountain Drake. Both Scuttle Crabs actually go over the MVP though, so a lot of good control out from Pagor.
Yeah, do like the MVP plays this emphasis on the Scuttle Crab, just knowing which, kind of sneaky angle that Wukong is going to try and gank them from. Similar to how the Lee Sin works, there are kind of unique pathing angles that Wukong can do with the decoy and kind of in this around vision as you see the engage here.
Bot side, once again, going to be their targeted focus. Lots of damage onto Hermes, but he still has that aftershock, so that makes him very tanky and difficult to lock down. MVP, they back off. They accept that this is not going to happen. The dragon coming up in 20 seconds. Pagor shows his hand bot side, and so it's up to Treble to respond.
There's a scary moment here in the game, Brandon. Team Secret's mid laner Tatsuri has already picked up the static shift. They all have their ultimates. This dragon is going to be disastrous if MVP get caught by the perfect storm of knockups, right? So we're looking at the Galio, we're looking at the Wukong to set it up for Tatsuri. If he gets a last breath onto Atzi or Papa before they can even do anything, I think this is how Team Secret gets control and full tempo of this game.
Azar also continues to scale up, gets closer and closer to the Lich Bane, not completing a single item, instead opting to split it up between some Grievous Wounds as well as some additional damage. Wow, MVP with a very disciplined call to accept the dragon going down, handshake that, trade it over instead for this.
They understand that.
The
they understand that the setup here from Team Secret is just too insane, right? You think about how the fight is gonna go. Wukong's gonna decoy Invis into the backline, hit a Cyclone, and then on top of that, you have Hero's Entrance. There's no way for MVP to clean disengage that. They're just gonna sacrifice Albert here because he wants to die but clear the wave out, so he's okay dying here.
Lockdown over onto Alba, he should just go down. Ignite gonna be used, he gets taken out, and Team Secret gonna be happy to just go for this exchange, but meanwhile a lot of pressure onto this tier 2 again. They jump back in, David looks to be the target of focus to get the primary engage on the Cyclone. First hit gonna come through with another auto attack from Chewie, they secured that kill. Meanwhile, flashing in, they almost get the taunt on the Papa, could not quite find it. Tatsuri continues to make his way forward with the windmill, he blocks the Sonic Wave. Instead, MVP almost take down 2 turrets in that spot. Team Secret get a couple more kills and a dragon, but a lot of gold out from MVP.
There was a high-level macro play coming from Albert, sacrificing himself to clear the wave out because his team almost got the Baron tier 2. If it wasn't from some, quick recalls and interferences from the Team Secret side, they would have lost their Baron tier 2. So overall, I think MVP are making the right macro plays to put themselves at an even kind of gold level. For the most part, Team Secret control the pace of these team fights because, like I said, the setup for the last breath is just too accessible right now. So MVP have to pick and choose their fights. They have to find these one-off picks with the Rakan, with the Lee Sin, maybe catch someone out with the Dragon's Rage or the knockup and then proceed into like a 5-on-4 or a 5-on-3.
Really intelligent plays from MVP. They calculate, these moves, I can afford to give this one up. In exchange, I'll pick this. And so right now, Rift Tower looking like he might get started up by Team Secret. Trebor positioning over by that side. We'll have to see how Yahtzee comes in to try and deny this as Pagor is on the other end of the map. It's a difficult spot for them to jump back in on. Shockwave going to be used, but it's still going to be Rift Tower claimed up by this Wukong. Meanwhile, they make their way back over into the mid lane. Team Secret with some good wave control really only have to worry about this Baron lane turret.
This power for Team Secret is going to last for, I think, until about 10 minutes. Like, their strongest point is at 10 minutes. Once the Xayah and once the Orianna get a bit more items, that's when it becomes tough for Team Secret to convincingly take the 5-on-5, or even Siege for that matter. As another wave is cleared out by Albert, he's just been using the explosive cast to make sure that Team Secret cannot push any tier 1.
Yeah, no point holding on to that when your turret goes down and there are no fights for you to go for. And so Team Secret, I think they're pretty content with this trade. They got the Rift Herald, so could use to try and break open the lane when the opportunity comes about. False execution used by Azar. They're looking locked down onto the Orianna, but one more hit should be enough. The turret comes through. Redemption gonna be used. Azar right at the very edge walks out the Redemption and survives the encounter. Almost takes down Yahtzee too.
Yeah, both of these solo laners had to blow their barriers, so that's going to be a resource down for Atzi in the next fight, which I think is kind of worse for him because he's going to be focused down a lot more from the Yasuo, whereas Azar has the evasion from the Twilight Shroud as well as the mobility from Shuriken Flip, so he's okay without the barrier. This is a better trade for Team Secret overall.
Let's see who actually ends up picking up that Hourglass enchantment first. I think that could have made a difference. Instead,
Yes.
the Akali decides to go for the more damage items, grabs that Lich Bane. I like this adaptation. I like the damage, the sheer damage is coming through because you want to be able to take down Yahtzee, you want to be able to take down Papa, but we saw how difficult it was that last game. It's going to rely heavily on how well the rest of the team is going to be able to set up. Dragon coming up, that could be a big focal point again. I'm curious if MVP want to give this one up. Instead, go for some turrets, maybe in the mid side, maybe in this Baron lane.
20 seconds on this Ocean Dragon again. Team Secret, like I said, time and time again, has been the team to kind of set up, control the tempo, control the space around this dragon because of their composition. MVP, if they handshake their fight, they will be punished. So what they're doing right now is sending Yahtzee to the Baron lane to kind of deal with the Rift Herald coming in. It looks like they don't really want to contest this. In fact, they're all swinging towards the Baron side. So they're sacrificing this Ocean Dragon for control on the top half of the map.
Yeah, really willing to just give away the Drakes this time around, instead pressuring out these lanes, trying to pick up the Baron lane turret especially. And you can see how low it is, 278 HP. It's only a few auto attacks away. This Rift Tower really does not find much value in this game at all. Trevor does manage to secure the dragon, so it is still going to be a nice exchange. He makes his way down towards the dragon lane now, goes to the bot side, trying to clear out the waves, is forcing Albert to go into a pretty weird spot, having to walk towards the mid lane and then immediately back towards the dragon.
There was also a low-risk, high-reward play around the Dragon Pit. Not sure if you saw, but Albert stayed on the outside of the Dragon Pit, trying to throw an explosive cast to steal that one away. Because if they did get the Ocean Dragon there, they wouldn't have lost anything, right? But they would have gotten pressure on the top side. So I think MVP understanding the macro, like, this is a huge improvement. I feel like them playing against Flash Wolves in their own group has been such a learning point for them that, you know, their current quality of play has increased significantly from when the Summer Super Cup first started.
Yeah, growing so much, being able to play against much tougher opponents. And I think that's kind of what we were always alluding to, you know, when we talked about the SSC. It's such a good opportunity. It's a kind of a melting pot for these different regions to get some experience to try out and test their own meta against the meta that's formed in other regions. And because of that, you've actually seen an overall larger, more comprehensive meta out from the SSC as a whole. And it's improved the level of gameplay significantly. You take a look towards the Origin series, I'd say.
Yes.
And they fight so many more of these small skirmishes without getting
very,
much
very
value
messy.
out of it.
I was watching Origin series yesterday. It was very, very messy for the most part. I'm like, okay, Summer Super Cup seems a lot cleaner for the most part. As Pegor might die here, but Dragon's Rage keeps him safe. Yeah, not to detract too much from the game, Brandon, but I want to point out that right now, Team Secret are at their strongest point. They will start falling off after this, so they have to punish MVP by taking this Baron.
It's perfect time for them to pick up the Baron, as you see David just trying to jump into the back. Oh,
hold on, you actually come in with the Hero's Entrance re-engaging on this. I could see that MVP are on the run though. Team Secret have grouped up, they have the damage, and double kill coming in for Chewy already. Looks like Team MVP are going to be worse for wear at the end of this fight. Not sure if Grandin is cutting out on the overall broadcast because he is deaf in my ear, so I'm going to be trying to take this through as much as I can. Maybe this connection is a bit shoddy right now because I know there's a thunderstorm hovering over Singapore right now. Team Secret, however, will be able to pick up this Baron, even though they have very low health bars. Pegor is the only one left alive here to defend together with Yahtzee. Right now they're zoning him off, and Team Secret, good use of their timings. They knew 10 minutes were their weakest moments, so they force the Baron, they get the fight on top of MVP. Zar might die here if they can find a knockup. He's going to be sacrificed. RIP, thank you for your service, but his team will get the Baron. Just checking with production right now if Grandin is you know, off stream and dead, or if he's just dead in my ear. I want to find out as soon as possible because I don't want to be talking over him. But you can see the MVP to try and respond against this Baron. They need to clear the waves out. Surprisingly, this Dragon tier 1 on both sides has not gone down yet, so Team Secret will be looking for that juicy objective, some environmental goals soon. Yep, so I have confirmation that Grandin did DC, unfortunately, so I will be on this Hungry Cast podcast for a while he jumps back in. Right now, Team Secret, they're the ones with the Baron buff, and this is something that I wish teams did more often, play a 1-3-1 with the Baron buff, just to get as much side wave pressure, side lane pressure as possible. Tatsuri is the one that's pushing out this Dragon Tier 1. He's already gotten it, so he's going to be putting pressure, forcing a 3-man rotation down. A good knock-up in Hero's entrance by space for Hame as the Dragon's Rage away, but Tatsuri's going to die to the redemption. Oh, man. You hate to see that. He almost set up the play with his team, but they waste another Baron buff, even though he got the Dragon Tier 1. Now, Azar and Tatsuri will not have that buff up, and Hame is now in a world of trouble. Albert and Pagor looking to focus down on top of the support Galio. Hame is very low now. The Sonic Wave Resonating Strike comes through. Command Dissonance gives the kill over to Atzi. As, look at that. We're going to walk past a Cloud Drake, and that is going to be a free objective for MVP. On the flip side, though, they will lose their Baron Tier 2. So they get a couple of kills, they get the Dragon, but they will have to rush back to defend this because being channeled by Pagor and Atzi, and we'll go back to the base. Okay, I think Grendon's back. Also, fun fact, before I throw this back to Grendon, you might be realizing that I pronounce it as Atzi. It's because the team of MVP speak Cantonese, so my pronunciation might be off, but I think the correct, accurate pronunciation is Atzi. So yeah, let's Grendon back. Save me, Grendon! Bit of a lull right now as Team Secret are up about 7k. They're starting to fall behind in terms of effective team fighting value, especially because okay, I hear Grendon, hallelujah, the man himself. Okay,
yeah,
thunderstorm killed your internet connection, I bet.
I guess so. I don't know how that works, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We're back, Team Secret. Nice. In that time, have gotten a lot of work done here. It looks like, you know, in Baron. Coming back up for them pretty soon. They're sitting at a pretty comfortable 8,000 gold lead at this point. I'm liking where they are. They're trying to get back onto Azar, who has to flash away. Dodges out for the Rakan. David cannot finally engage despite using the flash, and they're looking a little bit desperate right now. MVP in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah, but like I said, the effective value of their composition is starting to fall behind. Like 15 minutes in, they only have one way to win these fights, right? It's a last breath kind of wombo combo style. As much as Chewy does have 3 items, he is not as strong as Papa, which is kind of why you can see Team Secret are looking to force the issue around this Baron rather.
Yeah, and Baron, once again, that big focus for MVP. They're trying to trade back against Team Secret. Team Secret have some pretty good control here. They're moving in. All right, here we go. Cyclone comes out. The knockdown's coming through. Galio jumps back in. Doesn't quite connect. The taunt is going to come in on the 4 members. And it's a crowd control puff pastry. So, courtesy of Team Secret as they take down 3 on the side of MVP.
Piping hot and delicious. The wombo combo comes in from Team Secret. A clean fight. And this is what we're talking about, Grandin. You know, they're the ones that have to start the action. It's very easy for them. It's one-dimensional, but they do it so well. Hit the Cyclone, hit the last breath, the fight is pretty much one and done for them. So Team Secret's second Baron of the game, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Hopefully, Azar and Tatsuri don't die this time, right? As long as they're able to play the sideways at 1-3-1, they should be able to close this game out. I hate it so much when the solo laners get Baron and then they just die afterwards.
It's a really nice spot for Team Secret too, because the next dragon is going to be that Elder Infernal, and that's just stacks up the damage so much, you know. And a lot of these moments where it would have been a little bit difficult to try and find that final kill, it's now a lot easier with that additional damage. I think they could just close out the game if they try and play that one out. You can see MVP playing that one too, because they realize that's such a critical objective. They cannot really quite give them up. I don't even think that Team Secret have to use this Baron to push. They just use this to set up the lanes and go for this Drake instead. I think they could just win it outright.
The trick here when you have Baron buff is not to full commit to a push and die. It's to put pressure slowly and make your opponents feel like they're getting kind of boxed in, right? And once they are boxed in, Team Secret's composition excels at punching them right in the face with this wombo combo composition. So think about a boxing match, you know, you're trying to corner them right now with the Baron buff, and once their backs are towards the corners, backs towards the ropes, this is when Team Secret is going to excel.
Team Secret, you know, have managed to get every bit of control around these lanes. All 3 lanes are shoved in their favor right now. Azar making pretty good work against Albert. You see towards the bottom side, the Dragon lane, they managed to pick up the turret there too. Mid side crashing in as well now. And so Tatsuri, you know, despite the fact that this Yasuo is going to fall off a little bit in these team fights, especially when it gets more messy. Is actually so strong. I don't quite see how they could take him down. You look at their enchantments right now, 3 hourglass. They just want to keep fighting for these big, messy skirmishes. I'm quite liking what Team Secret have as they move towards this Elder Drake.
The important part is they recognize 2 windows where they fall off. The first and the second Baron, right? As long as hold on, look at this massive
goodness, huge start coming out for the Galio. They get good displacement back on the tree, but Shuri goes golden, survives with the hourglass. We're talking about hungry. They come back in with the Galio ultimate. MVP, things are looking dire for them as they run away. The secondary use of the Cyclone comes through. Gets knocked back for the enemy team, but Trevor goes a little bit too aggressive about the rest of his team to follow up with. 3 dead on side of MVP as Team Secret continue on with the aggression. Papa forces them back. Tatsuri back into the mid lane, just healing up, and you can see him back up to full. He's in position, wants to probably go for this fight here. Corki as well as the Yasuo actually gonna split up a little bit, try and pull the attention away from this Elder Drake as Azar starts it up against Yazi, who has no mana.
Yep, they're making MVP choose between 2 lose-lose options, right? Either you lose the Elder Inferno or you lose your base. And because Tatsuri, they're jumping onto Artsy, he has to flash away. But right now, look at the base. Tatsuri's already in the inhibitor. He's going to escort the wave into the Nexus. And MVP, they don't know what they're doing. They either have to contest this or they have to defend. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and the base is already going to Tatsuri. Look at that. He's just going to have to back off, wait for the wave to come in. MVP now, yeah, have bought some time. The TP is coming in. The leash on the Inferno Dragon is there.
Okay, but Elder is going to reset, so this gives them a little bit more time, but still down to about 8,000. And looks like leash is exactly right. Hungry. MVP might be able to secure this one for themselves. Pego over by the side, shotwave connects on the Hamez. The taunt still is going to come through. Look at this Elder looking at it. Azar gets the kill on the Pego. They were not able to stop Team Secret from just walking in and taking the Elder Drake away. It's 3 dead on the side of MVP. Team Secret have all the tools to just walk into base right now and close out the game.
Team Secret now, this is like Riku was talking about. You have day 1 Team Secret and you have day 3 Team Secret. This is a clear day 3 Team Secret performance. They understand what the composition needs to do. Now they're on the Nexus, now they're padding their KDAs, and they will be looking to close out game 3. I love this so much from the Filipino Sea.
Wrap things up just by taking down Chewy one last time, and so Team Secret pull ahead with a 2-1 game count, having 2 matches under the belt already. This best of 5 looking to move into their favor a little bit here.
Yeah. Overall, like I was kind of talking about before we kind of jumped onto all these fights, Team Secret understood that their composition falls off at 2 points, right? Around the first Baron and around the second Baron. Because without the Baron buff, they're unable to siege. Their composition has no siege potential. It's 4 melees and a Corki. Remember that, right? And the wave clear on the side of MVP is so strong. You have Xayah and you have Orianna. These kind of champions excel at clearing the waves without committing too much. By taking the Baron, they force MVP to kind of take that fight against them. Even if they secure the Baron, even when Team Secret get that buff for themselves, they're able to just split the side waves up and box their opponents in. So I love that Team Secret understood, as long as we get Baron 1, get Baron 2, we'll be able to play the side waves and push out and close the game out.
A lot cleaner of a game this time around, you know, not going for something like the Olaf, you know, who has a very singular role in the game, right? Running down a big carry. Instead, we